Hello everyone, this is Vahaj Rahman and today I'll be exploring more in the world of cloud. I've always said this, Amazon has created its entire world creating services for most of the technological tasks making our life easy. And today, I'll be diving into the world of AWS. I'll be discussing one of its foundational services, that is AWS VPC. VPC stands for Virtual Private Cloud. Well, private cloud sounds interesting, right? Okay, imagine this. Wouldn't it be amazing if you have your own personal playgrounds where you could configure your resources according to your needs? Well, that's exactly what AWS VPC offers you. It gives you the power of managing a virtual network where you can launch and design and control these resources according to your requirements. Okay, so for example, you can use VPC to launch your EC2 instances and you can create security groups to manage the inbound and outbound traffic of your instances. Or we can use VPC to launch SageMaker notebooks and training jobs for secure data processing and model deployments. And also, you can compare VPC or you can use VPC with your relational database system, which is your RAS, for managing your databases and securing them in private subnets. And while ELB secures high availability, you can enforce security by adding VPC subnets and security groups. But the questions remain the same. Why do we need a VPC? Well, if you want to connect your private devices or your office to the cloud and you want to do this via the internet, the first thing you need to ensure is that the resources you have deployed in the cloud are accessible through the internet. Then VPC, here comes the VPC. Well, it gives you a virtual network similar to that of a physical on-premises network, of a traditional on-premises network, but it is operated entirely in the cloud, where VPC gives you a secure and isolated area of the cloud where you can control about how your resources communicate with each other and with the outside world. Okay, so to understand VPC, we have four key components, and these key components can be configured in your VPC according to your choice. IP addresses. IP addresses are like numerical labels which you give to identify each resource in a virtual network. And subnets are like the ranges in this IP addresses, which you divide these ranges into private and public subnets. Security groups are like virtual firewalls, which creates inbound and outbound traffic and gives access only to the right user. And route tables are like rules which determines about where the traffic is to be guided. And to understand all of these components, I'll give you an example. Imagine you're renting a house in a gated community. The gated community represents the AWS cloud, where multiple tenants, which are basically the users, have their own houses, which is basically applications or services. Your house is a private, and only people you invite can enter. VPC is like the fenced boundary around your house within the gated community. It gives you control over who can access your house, basically your network, and what can go in and out of your network. The subnets within the VPC are like the different rooms in your houses. Imagine like your some rooms are private and some rooms are like open to all visitors. The private rooms are like private subnets and the open to all rooms are like public subnets. While internet gateway is like the main entrance gate to the community that connects you, your VPC, to the outside world, which is basically the internet. And security groups are like the locks or rules you set on your house door, deciding who can enter and what activities are allowed. Getting connected with VPC, Amazon offers you two services, which is basically Direct Connect, AWS Direct Connect, and VPC peering. Okay, so AWS Direct Connects, what it does is it connects AWS cloud directly with your on-premises data center. Netflix is a prime example of using AWS Direct Connect, and besides, we have VPC peering, which means you are connecting one VPC with another VPC for communication or transfer. And a prime example is Airbnb and Slack, which uses VPC peering. And many of the tech giants use VPC for managing and securing their resources. So I hope now you guys have a basic understanding of VPC and how it can make your life secure and easy. Well, that's it for this lecture, and I'll see you next time.